Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's indoor adventure in Monster Noire. We're just calling it Season 3, because holy hell has it been a hot minute since we were last able to play this game. If you look at our YouTube channel, you can probably see that the last time we played was September 24th. But hey, it is now February 3rd, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of this game and a bunch of other D&D content as well. But we also have a Patreon set up for our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folks, such as, why the mustache? What game system are you even running? What happened in those 6 months that you guys were not playing? All of those and more in questions for the courts. Find those answers in our Nights in the Courtyard. That's our after show. But let's say you already support us on Twitch. You already support us on Patreon and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places. And you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and most importantly, we have face masks. That's right, we have masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all of the proceeds of those masks go to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Satan, who you playing today?
Hi everyone, my name is Satan, or Alyssa Vamp on the internet. I go by she, they. I'm playing tonight my lovely and ever boss-ass bitch vampire queen Lilith. She goes by she, her. I don't know what else I have to say about the character. I don't know if we're supposed to say something else.
No, not until later.
Okay. Oh, okay, listen. I'm so confused right now. That's me.
All right, and Danae.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I go by she, her. I'm playing as Dot Flannery tonight. She is a werewolf, which is to say a werewolf who is now aware that she is a werewolf. She goes by she, her.
I'm Jen, and I go by she, her. I will be playing Beltane Hawthorne, the Fae gangster mob leader who is an underling to Lilith. He goes by he, him.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Ezekiel Sullivan, last gunman of the West. We both use he, him.
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and tonight I'll be playing the rest of the universe here in Monster Noire. So, folks, it's been a hot minute, like we have said. This game is usually an improv situation, and we try to throw things out there. The universe itself is a lot like Dark Shadows, I almost said City of Mist, Supernatural, Hellboy, all that. Monsters exist, but there's a veil over the world that hides their existence from other beings, from the mundanes, the muggles, what you will. And we have what I think we'll do is we're going to go around and everybody's going to give us their basically they just introduce themselves, but the system of this game works off of tags and powers and statuses. So to remind me and all of us what these characters are capable of and what they can do, we're going to kind of go through their through what they are and who they are and those tags and statuses a little bit, and that'll reintroduce you to those characters. And then after that, I'm going to give a recap of the situation as it begins. We've been playing this game for 2+ years.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good for a one shot.
Yeah, this was a one shot, and so yeah, we'll why don't we go around same order? Give us basically the stuff off your character sheets, the your powers, your tags, and your statuses. So Satan,
It's a me.
Yep.
So I'll play Lilith. Her mythos is Vampire Queen, and her logos is Mob Boss. Uh, and then she has a crew, which is the crew around here, which is Beltane, Ezekiel, and Dot. And then for her power, she has, I believe, 3 mythos cards and 1 logos card. The 3 mythos cards are the Undying. Her power tags are. I kind of renamed these, so excuse me.
Yeah,
But
no, that's great, and that's something about that is an advantage in City of the Mist, is that you kind of come up with these things. There's choices there, but you can flavor this stuff to be your character, kind of like in Fate, you give clauses and words and things. So continue.
yes. So it says, you can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch because it's called. It's
Undying, yes.
yeah. I found my updated sheet.
All right, perfect.
Absorb life force. That one's easy. Harm makes me strong because every time she takes a hit, she gets stronger. I don't have the book open in front of me,
Yep,
so
that's
we'll
fine.
see.
That's fine. No, and that's all I want. I just want the names. We don't really
Yeah.
need explanations. Just kind of to give us a feel of things that have happened, and or who the person is and what kind of things they can do is really kind of what we're looking for.
yeah.
So like, I know that you were, one of your statuses, you were star touched nearing the
that was Ezekiel.
Nope. You got it too at one point. It should be on your sheet, I would hope. You had the encounter with a thing in the bushes, and as a result, you
put it in my sheet.
You reached out to get it, and it kind of got you back.
Oh yeah, that's true. I got.
You got. Okay. Weaknesses.
Weaknesses is sunlight sensitivity. This is the Undying card. So she can't die. She can absorb life force, and every time she gets hurt, she gets stronger. Then there is the absorb powers card, which she can steal people's powers for a bit, or leave them powerless as well. And then we have clone jutsu, which is she makes little replicas of herself. And the weakness tag is my power weakens. So I believe that is like when she uses it afterward, like her own power weakens, any of those abilities. Then she has a card in hypnotic charm. So she has hypnotic trance, a sort of suggestion spell, which she can suggest people to do things, and she can also read people's minds. Now, in the more in the less fantasy logos card, we have Crime Lord. So she has company resources, so she's got a lot of money, outsmart competition, because this bitch been at it for a real long time. She's got the smarts. And then thrill of winning, because she loves to win. But the weakness tag for hypnotic charm is overwhelmed, so whenever she reads minds or hypnotic trance, her senses kind of get overwhelmed. And then the weakness tag for crime lords is that she does have a lot of enemies around.
Yes, she does. Awesome. And goes to Danae then.
Yeah. Hey, I'm playing as Dorothy Flannery, also known as Dot. As I said before, she is Anne, a werewolf. Her that's her mythos. And her logos is Pressman, because she runs she runs the printers for the newspaper. Like, she just keeps the printer up and running. She doesn't actually read the newspaper. Like, don't be ridiculous. So that's where we found her when this story began. should I go through my different theme cards, or
Yeah, I would just hit your powers, hit your logos and mythos.
Sure.
So.
That, just really quickly, she grew up knowing that the magical world existed, and being told stories about it and being warned of it, by her mother. But she was never a part of it, until one day her werewolf blood awakened, and she realized that, I'm a werewolf. So the theme cards that she has is divination with a nose for trouble. She has this is basically all of the wolf instincts that allow her to sniff things out. She has expression with the beast within. This is essentially covering her bestial form when she transforms into a werewolf. And then her other theme cards are both logos cards. That being possessions with sentimental value. She has a silver locket that was given to her by her mother, that she has recently learned is the only thing that keeps her from transforming into a werewolf. Said silver locket has gone missing at this point, I believe. And that's gone now, but fortunately for her, she was shot with a silver bullet. So so there's some silver shrapnel in her shoulder that is preventing her from transforming. This is my most unstable card. I'm probably going to be replacing this with something in the near future, and it will probably be another Mythos card.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for that. My final card is Training with Ink Jockey, and it's essentially all of the sort of jack of all trades sort of skills that she picked up in the press room. Yeah, and that's essentially it. That's her all of her mundane abilities kind of go under that theme.
One of the bits and bobs I really wanted to focus on was that you have basically your Grimm's fairy tale book.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah. So. She's got a book of monsters that her mother used to read bedtime stories out of. And she has come to realize that this book of monsters is a lot more, important than she thought it was. It's not just all made up. It's actual real shit. And there's more truth to be found in this book than was previously perceived.
Part of the becoming a werewolf was realizing that
the Book of Monsters had some real something to it. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay, and weaknesses that stick out just to get people going on.
Sure. So sensory overload under nose for trouble. Can't tell allies from foe under beast within whenever she transforms. She has difficulties with that. Under sentimental value, she can never take off her silver locket. Whoops, that's gone now. And under ink jockey, I have in quotations not paid to read them, which is to say that she doesn't actually read the newspaper, so she's not that aware of current events.
Perfect. All right. Slide on over to Beltane.
Yes, let's see. He is a mobster fae. He is from the old world, having traveled into the new world. He has healing magics, and he's an old divine fae, stemming from his connections to the fae realm into this realm. He has fae magic. He's connected between spaces, which is basically where he likes to hide if he doesn't want to deal with things. Has a magical protection, which he can use to protect people. Has a fire power, which is called Fire Zabel, which is his god he follows. And he's very routine and practical in his mobster's way. He likes to keep everything on track. Let's see. His weaknesses, he doubts his powers and their effect on the world at large because he feels the shift in magic and isn't sure if that's going to be a long thing or if it's just something temporary. He fears losing touch with his original nature, his primordial self that became this Fey god that now he's just been kind of reduced to this Fey being that exists in the world. He enforces the old laws, and he kind of likes to stick to a plan until it doesn't pan out.
And if there is no tag for it, there should be Mischief Maker, obviously.
Yes.
All right. Let's head on over to Zeke, the Lone Star.
Excellent. Yeah. So his tags are primarily, they would fall under the Logos category because he is much more man than he is monstrous. But the tags that he has are Slow Time Gunman. So he has things like the super speed, and he's nimble as a fox and can dodge bullets because that's been really helpful so far. But then he has a lot of personality, I would say, in that, he's got, I wrote down Southern hospitality, but he's not from the South. And he doesn't if anything, like that's the tag that's like most up for like a shift later on. Because his weakness tag from that was being bitter. So, he's still a little bit bitter, but definitely not as I don't know, there's something about it that I don't think fits as right with him. But then, as we found out, Gunstar Hero as my possessions. I got a pair of revolvers, my cowboy hat, and I'm a DIY guru. Sometimes. And my main weakness in that, obviously, running out of bullets. But Zeke's whole thing was that his family was killed by some unknown beast. And so he is driven to mete out justice because of that. With the tag, what was the beast that killed my parents?
Mm-hmm.
And as his weakness, he's a little hollow inside, but he is learning to be more open and friendly because, well, he's alone in the big city and he's made friends with Dot. And he knows Beltane and Lilith.
He has enjoyed Lilith's hospitality.
He has, yes. Especially because Lilith seems a little bit more hospitable to Zeke than she ever has been to anyone besides Hazel from way back when.
So, all right.
Don't forget, you make horrible coffee.
I make very strong, very delicious coffee.
Yeah, don't dribble it on the paint of the car. That's the Okay, so then we'll go to a late season Supernatural previously on, where it's just like blah 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 blah, a billion images, and unless you've been watching the show, you'd have no idea. But there are a few things that I want to bring up from way back that are going to be relevant, as this is our season 3 here is kind of a finale to this storyline for a while. Not that we will never come back to it, but these next few episodes, we're going to kind of wrap up a bunch of stuff that has happened. Some of the things that have happened is that we need to know about is there are 3 primordial demon gods that predate even the Fae, and the party has just figured them out. And so we go to our first flash, and our first flash is a young Hazel was blonde, or Harker was blonde. Okay,
Hazel was, she had like auburn hair. Harker was the blonde one.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. A young auburn-haired woman standing there being filled with this like cosmic weird energy, and we see the world is in peril, and she chooses the nuclear option and saves us from the first of these primordial entities. This massive bubbling brown green corruption that was going to take over everything. we see Hazel kind of sacrifice herself to save it. Then we see her sister, like, no, the classic kind of thing. And then we see later on, we see that sister, blonde-haired Harker, the detective / becomes a professor. And we see that professor then makes a deal with the devil to try to save, try to save Hazel. And then we see New Orleans burning. And then the imagery, so the imagery is just hitting us, as we've tuned into this. Then we see the scene switch, and we see that there's some new players involved, and we see that we see like a rift in time and space, and we see a guy who maybe he's part mummy or something. His arms all wrapped up funny and whatnot, and he like is in this rift. And then there's this massive titan, and there's volcanoes, and there's like demon turkeys running around, and like I said, all of this is just flashing at us. And then we see that monstrosity, this gigantic horned titan made of metal starts crumbling and whatnot, and the rift is closing. And then it jumps from there, and we see part of Zeke's childhood, him hiding. This ghostly thing rips out and basically drags his parents off into the darkness. Trying to think of other things that are important. At one point we see Beltane turn into the Viking tree of life, which I can't think of the name of right now. Yggdrasil, blue, and tanks go flying, and there's a guy that looks like Rasputin. He goes winging off into the thing, and he becomes a smoke monster. And then there's King Arthur there with Excalibur for some reason, and World War II happens, and then we start to come back in to these characters. And Beltane has forgotten a lot of stuff, and Lilith is heartbroken, and there seems to be this woman who's holding her head, and there's a carriage, and then the lich guy or the mummy guy are off somewhere else. Now we goes in, and it comes in closer and closer to this story, to where we're at now. All of that has things to do with what's coming up. So that all those images need to be there. So with that, the things that we have to see about what has happened recently, there's a there's a hospital, a mental hospital, and it's abandoned, and it's connected to a modern hospital. And there's a guy, a doctor, who seems to be rushing in and saving patients at the last minute. And we see this blue glowing square on the bottom of the gurney or the operating table that the person's on. And we see that the person gives its death rattle, and the doctor rushes in and boom, boom, brings him back to life. And everybody claps to the doctor, and the person comes back to life. But we see beyond the veil that they are a white pupiled zombie. Then that flashes. We see the town of Cloveraft. People like the mailman is walking along, and we see it's this Sunnydale looking thing, and then the veil shifts, and we see that the mailman is actually a zombie. And we see that the Dot and Zeke follow up on these people who supposedly died, but now they are, when they open the door, they're smiling people from the 1940s. But then because our heroes can see beyond the veil, they're rotting zombie corpses who then invite them in. Then we go to Beltane and Lilith walking through the park at night, and the bushes kind of rustle, and they think something's there, and Lilith leaps at it and is like, aha, I gotcha, and it like slashes out at Lilith, marking her with this we see beyond the veil this sort of this claw of stars and void, the darkness. This happens. Then we flash back to a train. Dot and Zeke are on the train. Whoop, same kind of thing happens to Zeke. He gets clawed, and this starry darkness is around him. Other images. Oh, they track the doctor. They get to his car. They open the trunk of his car, and an amalgamation of limbs twist and jump and attack the people, the party. They Beltane calls forth your sister, I think, to take it away. Brother, to take it away. All the clue on that is they all had a tattoo that was a square with some sigils and runes in it. Lilith and Beltane create a situation where they make the doctor believe that they want to hire him from the government. They have a dinner at the Blue Whale. It's a beautiful dinner. The doctor's disappointed because he thought it was a date with Lilith, but Beltane's there, and they offer the job, and he kind of accepts the job, and then they hit him sideways with the fact that they shake his hand, and they're like, we know about the zombies. You need to clean this shit up before you can come to work with us, for us. And the doctor's like shocked and awe, and then gets a little evil grin like, yeah, the government wants the government wants me to make zombies. Awesome.
Government issued zombies.
Government issued zombies. Yeah. ZI or GIZ, government issues zombies. Giz. No, that's horrible.
Yep. No,
right.
We're not going to pronounce it the other way.
No, we're not here on this show. Anyway, the other thing, then we fly over. This is the last part, and this is where we're going to pick up the storyline. Dot and Zeke break into the doctor's house. They realize the bottom floor is magically warded. They get onto the roof. Zeke does a thing. He looks all cool. Dark Knight reference. Moon, he looks like Moonlight or Batman crossing the moon with his cowboy coat. They break in. They go to the one bedroom, hospital corners. Everything's beautiful, like clean, like hospital clean. The bed cover is green. They go to the bedroom across the hall. Whoosh, the bed cover is red. Same medical clean. They go to the bathroom. And in the bathroom, we see Dot close it, or looks up at the mirror, and she sees a rotten werewolf of herself. She goes to fall. Zeke grabs her before she hits her head on the tub, which, of course, we know that there's been dead bodies and bleeding and such in there because using her minor magics and her high senses, Dot has been able to tell that there's been a lot of bodies in there. Maybe an amalgamation of bodies that were all tattooed or such. So yeah, way creepy. Zeke closes the mirror. Dot goes, the mirror. Zeke, of course, looks. Zeke sees himself. As a wraith, and then as some kind of prince or something. He has a crown of stars. And he's just kind of disappointed at the whole thing. And he takes the mirror and swings the mirror away so it's facing the wall. That's where we'll begin. We're in the bathroom. Dot and Zeke, you've disposed of the mirror technically. The mirror is now facing the wall away from you. You're in a hallway. There's 2 bedrooms down this way. The stairs going down are right out of the bathroom, and the hallway goes to the right to a door at the end.
I felt like our initial goal, and this is again me thinking of where was our minds at the last time we played this game in September. We were going to go downstairs.
You were going to finish the upstairs
Finish
first.
the upstairs first.
But that because the downstairs was all warded and stuff, and you only had the one door at the end of the hall left. But you can change your mind from this point. This is your adventure.
No. We gotta clear the floor. We gotta clear the floor.
Okay. All right.
At this point, because Dot has like a spooky mirror and like is showing that like they're a little clumsy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have fallen near the mirror. Zeke is gonna be the first one to go up towards this door, pistol drawn, as he normally is. It's his silver pistol for dealing with monsters and stuff. Definitely not a Witcher reference. And he'll be the first, and he'll go to open the door. Very like slow open, kind of like open the door, like pistol in, and then like use the pistol to open the door.
All right. Well, upon grabbing the doorknob.
Oh, I see.
Let us. Where's it at? Oh, scrolled too far.
Doorknob turns into a small hand and grabs me back and says, "Pleasure to meet you."
Nice to meet you.
Takes you out for a good dinner at the Blue Whale. Face danger when you use your abilities to avoid an incoming hit or endure harm or resist a malign influence. So, let's see.
I have nimble as a fox.
Okay.
And I'm quick enough that I can dodge bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So would both of those count?
I'm going to say you willingly grabbed said doorknob.
That I did.
That
is also my weakness of overlooked details, such as maybe I shouldn't touch shit in this spooky ass house.
So we're going to go with +1, -2, or +2, -1. So you're back down to a +1.
Okay. Sounds good. It's just 2d6 and then add that one?
Yep.
Okay. There's no, like, do we have a reroll mechanic, or is it just, like, it good?
We used to in the game we made up.
Awesome.
In the game.
Just checking again.
Though, if you have any, all right, they call it juice, but we call it hold. If you have any hold or whatever, as a matter of fact, in my notes from last session,
I don't think there's any way I can turn this around.
Well, I've got specifically 2 juice from doing homework with Beltane on wards, specifically in houses.
Yep. So, and then Zeke should have 2 hold juice versus Star Touched. You had a sigil. Beltane was able to give you like a mark on your arm and a dagger and like a voodoo doll. So you have.
Yeah, he took a pen and literally just drew a circle basically on your head. It's like, yep, here it goes.
Circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you got a cootie shot. So you do have 2 hold versus magic, so you could use one of those to be a bonus.
1, right?
Yeah.
No. Like again, I got a 3 on the dice, and then I got a +1 to a 4. So I don't think there's any way to save this.
All right.
So I'll take the 4. It's fine.
And Dot, for future reference, you have 1 clue towards the house itself. So at any time, you can spend that clue to know something about the house.
Cool. I'll hold on to it.
Yep. Okay. Let me make sure. Yep. Okay. Those were all the ones that I had written down from the last re-listening to the last episode. So grabbed. Oh no. Yeah. I'm okay. So you grab it, and it you can feel it. We're gonna add a status.
Okay.
Call it. Basically, when you grab the doorknob, you feel your life drain away. It's like necrotic damage in D&D, but we're gonna give you a status, and just call it grave touched. So basically you're going to be a little slower, a little less lively.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, and Dot, you can see that he doesn't seem to be able to let go of this doorknob, and his shoulders are slumping, and you see the little, the typical black veins kind of thing go.
I'll grab him and pull him away from it.
All right. I don't think it merits a roll. But yeah, you pull him away from it, and his hand like lets go, and it's almost as if he's frostbitten, whereas his hand touched the doorknob, the vacuous cold of the grave has kind of burned his hand with cold. What do you do?
You've got to be careful. There's wards all over this house.
Well, I thought the wards were on the downstairs. That's why we came. Look, this house has more traps than the McAllisters. That's all I'm going to say.
That hasn't come out yet.
What do you mean? They were my neighbors growing up. There's this boy, Kevin. He just absolutely, littered their house with traps. Best way to keep bandits out, though. Tell you what.
I heard about this guy. He, killed somebody by, swinging a paint can.
You would think that, yes. But no, apparently, regardless of the number of paint cans that collided with these bandits, they just... You know what? I think that they were probably trolls or something like that.
Yeah, it must have been something supernatural going on here.
Had to have been.
Let me have a look at this door.
All right. Would you like to investigate the door, or would you like to use one or more of your hold on it? And you also have one clue left you can spend.
I do. I'm just gonna investigate the door.
All right. So let us look at our moves. Investigate. Oops. Slide the thing. All right. Give me some powers that would help you out with this.
Wolf's instincts.
Okay.
Now, you'll remember when I say lunchroom gossip, I mean her co-workers are not mundane.
Right. Yeah. So you guys are sitting there at the print shop, the bell rings or whatever. You guys go to lunch, and they open their lunch boxes, and it might just be a big hunk of fish, and he just bites eats the raw fish because they're a troll or a goblin or
it's
sashimi. Incredible. So yes, Wolf's instincts, lunchroom gossip, and eye for details.
Good. All right, sure. We'll take it. +3. Any weaknesses though that would apply?
Not seeing anything.
I'm not remembering any. So
unless I don't know, sensory overload.
No, nope. We're good. There's no alarms going off or screaming or bullets flying. So
okay. Or she does have silver in her shoulder. So that could be a distraction to her, but
no, I think we're good. Go for it with +3.
All right. I got a 7 on the dice, so that's 10.
A 10. Excellent. Okay. And on a hit, you get clues plus power. So I'm going to give you 3 clues. You can spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask me questions. Let's see. Yep, that's what's relative there.
How many did I get?
3.
3. Okay. Well, first of all, how do we protect ourselves from this ward? I guess let's start with what's causing this.
It's some kind of magic on the doorknob that drains life force.
Okay. How do we protect ourselves?
Don't touch it.
Okay.
Like don't physically like contact it.
Yeah, like a handkerchief or a glove, like
Yeah, an
does it need to
oven
be
mitt, you know, a
Okay.
mitten, you know.
Could I? Well, okay. My identity under sentimental value is always be prepared. Can I like dig around in my toolbox and pull out an oven mitt?
Yep.
Probably have like a grease rag.
Yeah,
with you.
or a big set of heavy leather
just think it's-
gloves.
Or your
just think
own
so.
bandana on your head.
Yeah, like those are all reasonable things, but
Right.
I
Oven
want the
mitt,
mental
though.
image of an oven mitt
Right.
coming out of my tool bag, and specifically because it's like embroidered with like, you know, like protective runes, and
Okay.
there's like herbs and shit that like Beltane just stuffed down in there.
All right.
Potpourri.
Okay. So what is the pattern or whatever? I mean, there's runes in it, but the oven mitt started as an oven mitt. So
Yeah.
is it like you know, just one color on one side, but there's like that horrible pattern on the other? And is it like Christmas or what's the pattern?
It's a kitty paw.
Okay.
It's just a cat paw. There's beans on the front of it. She's gonna
All right.
take it out and then just like shove it onto Zeke's hand and then push him towards the door.
Okay. All right. Now remember, you that was one or two questions.
I think that was the three of them.
Oh, that was all three. Okay.
Well, like the first one was like, what's causing this? The second one
Okay.
is how do we protect ourselves? And then the third one was to just sort of like get more specific on how to protect ourselves.
Okay. All right. Zeke, you've been be
I got
oven mitted.
beansed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got beansed.
He's gonna like look at it and just,
Mhm.
why do you have this? You know what? It's fine.
Belle and I were up pretty late last night, making sure that we had, you know,
Cat
we
paws.
we're prepared.
Okay. He, like, again, like, this time is like tentative. Like, in his mind, he's like, I could have just tried to open it with my gun. Like,
Gun solves every problem.
every problem looks like something that can be shot when your only hammer is a gun. So yeah, he's gonna cat paw hand try and turn the knob on this one.
All right. Yeah, it opens.
Okay. So yeah, he's same thing that he wanted to do to start, which is like gun into it and then just like tilt it open.
But now there's this oven mitt in the we focus down on the doorknob opening and
Like,
turning,
okay,
and it's the paw and the gun.
It's the door handle opens. Camera shot on the inside. Room is dark except for the single slit of light from like where it is, and then from that you see like gun barrel, and then you see
Mhm.
cat paw as a fucking
Perfect.
oven mitt like curl around the door.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and then as the door opens, we're gonna say that there's still some light from like the street lights coming in.
Okay.
But that's all that the light in the room is, and so that leaves like harsh dark shadows and such. And yeah, and as the door creeps open, it's another one of those bedrooms, but this is like the master bedroom, so it's bigger, and the bed is a little bigger, and there's a closet, and there's a dresser, and there's one of those like mirrored tables, and then there's like a nightstand on each side of the bed. There's lamps on there, and there's a light switch just inside the door. From what you can see with the dark angles and shadows and whatnot, is the bed is hospital cornered, and the bed covering is blue. But like on the table with the mirror and stuff, there's like I don't know what you call it. It's basically a thing with felt, and it's got multiple watches on it. And there's a valet stand, and there's there's like clothes set out for like the next day hanging on the valet stand with a pair of doctor comfortable type shoes tucked in at the bottom of the valet stand. So it's like somebody actually lives in this space.
Oh, this looks like Bros of McGee's room.
Dr. Ratson.
Yeah, that's his name. We said the same thing.
Just be careful.
Look, all I'm saying is, if his door handle is probably like this, every single one of them watches needs to get checked. Everything in this room either needs to get shot, stabbed, or otherwise investigated. And he'll bring out the knife that Beltane gave him.
Well, if you start shooting that gun, the neighbors are going to hear, and they're going to send the police.
Well, that's why I got the knife, and he's like holding the knife in like the oven mitt of the cat paw.
And when you guys say the neighbor thing, we have like a quick flashback to outside, and up and down the street. We see the glow of the television in all the bay windows on the front facings of the houses, and we see that the television, all the windows are blinking in synchronization. They're all flashing the same thing. So obviously it's like everybody's watching the same show, which, because there's only 3 channels, that's not too weird, but it is a little weird. We have that flash when she says the neighbors, and we sort of see this weird uniformity thing going on. And then we jump back into the room with you guys, oven mitt, knife.
All right, well, look, how about this? You're clearly better at sniffing out danger than I am. So why don't you give a cursory look, and if anything goes wrong, I'll just stab the shit out of it.
Okay, fine. She's going to poke her head in and give a sniff.
Okay. Same procedure as before, investigate.
Sure thing. I'm going to say wolf's instincts, eye for details. Sorry, looking for anything else.
I can't help you on this.
Yeah, that's about it.
2.
Yeah, I'll say, or maybe thrill of the hunt. Nah, let's go with just wolf's instincts and eye for details. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. Okay. You get 2 clues.
All right. Is there any danger in here?
There is. So you see above the bed, in the center of the bed, there's a picture frame, and as you're like, you swear in your wolf vision, there's some kind of glow emanating from behind the picture frame.
Yeah. She like gives a sniff and like smells something off coming from the picture frame. Like, what does it smell like?
Death.
Death. Yeah, that tracks. She's gonna point at the picture frame and says, "That smells like death."
Okay. And like I said, you're like, there's that kind of a blue glow kind of coming from the edges of it. And you turn and you realize as you got close, you're turning towards the mirror.
Oh, fuck.
And I would like you to somehow duck, dodge, dip, or dive to not look at the mirror again.
Yeah, I think that she,
because you realize it's dangerous too.
Well, gosh, like if she like, starts to like, make her way into the room, the thing about mirrors is that like, and when you're sneaking around in a house, like a mirror looks like another person. Mm-hmm. But like she also had a bad experience with a mirror before. So I think that what happens is that like she like instinctively like, feels like there's another person there, turns to look, and then realizes it's a mirror. So she's gonna try to not look, even though like she's already started to.
Okay.
Is there an ability for that?
We're gonna face danger.
Okay.
You're gonna try to resist a malign influence or hold it together.
All right. I don't have a lot for that. But that's okay. Yeah, that's just fine.
I think Wolf's instinct would apply.
Yeah. For like yeah, Wolf's instincts is probably the best option here. I'll do that. I don't think it's gonna help me much. I got a 6.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah, you go and you try to you see that image, something's about to jump at you, and your wolf's instincts want you to bear down and snarl at it, and you look at the mirror and you see the rotting werewolf corpse of yourself, and you eep and you throw yourself across the bed. and basically it gets caught up in your stuff, so you pull those hospital corners off you ruffle the bed sheet kind of thing, the comforter in the bed sheet, so it gets rumpled, but you kind of roll off the other side of the bed, and you're like F me, that I do not like my rotting werewolf self.
Well, she like pops up over the other side of the bed and says, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. It's another mirror. Because like obviously Zeke's gonna point his gun at it.
Right.
Yeah, no,
right.
As soon as you just like recoil, Zeke like turn and swivel, and I'd like to think that it's like don't look, don't look, don't look. And he's like almost there, and like gun's trained on it, and he's looking at you just like, why? What'd you see?
Another mirror.
And those are bad, right?
Yes, they're bad.
Okay, all right.
Just assume all the mirrors in this house are bad.
Well, all right. That's fine. That can be done. So this... Look. Do you know how to fold sheets? Because if you don't, it's already going to look like we were here. So I could just, like, knife it real quick and, like, pow.
I don't know, maybe I can fix it. She's gonna try and like smooth out the sheets.
Zeke will like turn his back away from the mirror, but like stand in front of it with his back to it.
All right, protecting Dot from it.
Just every time there's a mirror, of course, the woman folk wants to go and inspect herself. Clearly,
I see.
Clearly,
incredible weakness, misogyny.
Your misogynistic bias.
Yes,
cowboy bias.
That's my southern hospitality. That's the weakness.
Incredible.
So you just we're not going to add powers. Just give me a die roll, and if you. Yeah, let's see what happens. If you fail horribly, 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you seem to get it back together in kind of a semblance of good, and we see you like straightening the corners, and then we like close in on that, and then as you're straightening the corners, we close in on that, and then we fade back out on. So basically, it's kind of dark and shadowy like that, and then we kind of come up and there's like the edges, and we see this edge, and then we see like lights come, and then we see the Rolls Royce come over a hill. And Beltane and Lilith, where are you going? What are you doing after the meeting?
Would stop by the market.
Why are we stopping by the market?
I'm hungry.
I want Chipotle.
I want Chipotle.
We have McDonald's at home.
McDonald's at home. Did you not eat at the restaurant?
Yeah, but It wasn't good.
We'll stop at the market. Did you send your little bee fairy friends to alert Ezekiel and Dot?
Things for a moment. No. I'll do that now. Look, they're grown-up kids. They can look after themselves. They're fine.
And we do you actually send some like fireflies or whatnot?
Yeah, 2 bees just pop up and he sends them out to
All right, and
Dot and Zeke.
We see the bees, flying off into the night. Yeah, so you're at the market. No, don't click. Okay, this is the roll of the night. Face danger, we'll call it. And so, roll plus power. So Lilith, I need you to roll basically anything that's like your ESP, your mind reading, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have mind reading.
Yeah. And then Beltane, I'm just gonna take from Beltane because of your magic and your magical senses. We're gonna automatically give Lilith +1 in that. And then we're gonna take one away because of your star touched. So you are +1.
Okay, and that's 2d6.
Correct.
Okay. 5 + 4 is 9, +1 is 10.
10, a hit. Lilith, you become keenly aware of that whatever it was in the bushes watching you is watching you again. You're sitting in the car. Beltane just rolled the window down a crack so the bees could fly out, and you just have that feeling whatever was watching you from the bushes is there again. And you were you don't have the beast within anymore, right?
No, I wish I still
Okay.
did.
All right, but
those are my old powers from the old system. Yeah.
Yep. So, but that kind of is what your
like
predatory,
my hackles are up.
Yeah, your predatory nature of being a vampire, kind of is that plus your awareness and your mind. You sense another presence.
Yeah, Beltane would just see kind of like her eyes, her red eyes, like when we see through the bear, her eyes are red. They kind of like brighten a bit, and like her pupils kind of like dilate and retract. And she already sits up straight, but she just stops moving.
And we get that harsh noir cut of light coming through the thing that's like this, and then we see the eyes.
Everything in black and white, but the eyes are red.
Yeah, and it comes with you see the lip and maybe a bit, just a touch of a snarl, just for that.
Do I get a sense to like where it's coming from, or just like, is the car moving, or are we just
no? You guys had just stopped at the market. And the bees were released, so you were just sitting there, basically, maybe not the engine still idling, and you can tell it's from your side of the car. But it's in the darkness.
Lilith very calmly stands, opens the door and leaves. We see like it's like a dark night. Maybe there's mist on the ground, and we see the bright headlights of the car, and then it's eerily quiet, but you can hear the sound of her heels on the gravel. And she just leans on the hood of the car, like sitting, legs a little crossed. She takes out a cigarette and lights it. So we see that flash of the fire while the headlights are like on each side of her. So she's kind of silhouetted. And her eyes are just looking around. And she very calmly just says, "No one likes a peeping Tom. Why don't we all just have a friendly conversation?"
Perfect. Let's go with a convince roll. When you use your abilities to talk, threaten, or seduce someone into doing something, roll plus power.
Okay, so I do have like a suggestion power, so I'm gonna use that.
Yep.
So it'd be 2d6 plus 1.
Okay. And that's the only one you got?
I have hypnotic trance as well, if that
Okay.
helps.
I'm gonna let it play out, even though usually that's an eye contact thing. So go ahead and roll with plus 2.
8.
8. Okay. It's almost like you feel it or read the mind rather than actually hear it. But there's like a low, raspy, it's we'll say a death rattle rasp kind of sound, and it says, "It is not time." And you feel the entity flee. Let me see. Did you have one hold, right? No, you have
I don't think I have any holds.
Oh, no, that's okay. I saw a 3 down here under you, but it is not a hold. It is something else. Yeah, I'm gonna say that we see and you feel that little star swirl void where you've been star touched. You almost feel that like get cold for a second, and then like it pulls away kind of thing. But we as the audience actually see the swirl and void of the stars on your arm.
She would like, if she feels the cold, like she would take off, like I assume she's wearing like gloves, like her gloves, and then just looks at her hand. Does she see the star void thing, or is it just like a double veil thing?
Yeah, it's almost like a double veil thing, but I'm gonna say because you had a conversation with Zeke earlier that morning about Beltane blocking that from being like scryed on, is the only way that Zeke and you never said that word at all. Zeke said that something's watching me and I needed a thing, and Beltane, and you guys had a discussion about how Beltane gave him all this stuff, and does Beltane often just give you a bunch of garbage, was kind of how the conversation, and that conversation clicks in your head. What do you do with that info?
Beltane, darling.
Get out of the car and kind of lean on the door. Yep.
We're being watched. More specifically, I'm being watched. And I don't quite like that.
And we get a flash of the scene of you guys dancing into the air in the park, and from episodes ago, and then that park, and where Lilith had the interaction where she tried to grab the thing and it kind of clawed at her and fled. Beltane, give me an investigate roll using anything related to magic.
Okay. Cool. 11.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you see this deep, basically, when you look at it, your fey magic, we kind of swirl in and tighten in it, and it's Lilith's, porcelain white skin, and then you suddenly see the dark mark. It kind of fades into existence, so it's like the black kind of grows, and then you see the little star speckling in there. And I don't know if you actually saw it on Zeke in the morning or not. I cannot remember if you were actually physically able to see it, but you can feel that it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now you've actually seen it.
I'll come around towards her and kind of tap her arm a couple times. Well, when things are older than the Fae, stories simply are different. I don't have memories of this.
Do you know how to stop it? How to
Not
block it?
me. Well, I could do what I did for Zeke, but this is a bit older than me. I could talk to my sister.
You could. Just do for me what you did with Zeke, and we'll have a family reunion.
He nods and takes out a fountain pen and takes her arm. I should have become a tattooist. As he draws the symbol on her
We've
arm.
gotten a lot of complaints.
Okay. And I think we called that a hit with all you've got, or a face danger. Oh, face danger. Yep. Resist a malign influence. Okay. Roll plus powers, whatever you got for magics or whatnot.
Okay. Cool. Same roll, 11.
Oh, yeah. You have, circle, dot. Now you got a cootie shot. Blam. So Lilith has her you can feel it working magically. You're like, it's like the cold is on the outside of your coat. You know how when you're outside in the winter you can feel it's cold, but you're not quite cold.
It's like when the hand was cold itself, so she technically, for all intents and purposes, Zimbo was a mitten, but it's still cold outside.
Right. Yeah. So you can tell that it's kind of like sliding off of you. It's not gone. They weren't able to make it go away, but they are able to keep it from grasping you. What is your next move?
Well, we should probably go back to the house, see if the kids are back, and address why there's stars upon you. I don't really want to deal with elder things tonight.
If it were so easy to get what we wanted. No. Let's get to the house.
I could still call my sister.
Whatever it takes. This thing's clearly intruding on me and my life and watching me, and I have many things under my care that should not be in the public eye or the eye of anyone other than myself.
You'll nod, holding the door open. What season is it? Is it like fall, spring?
Ooh, if I remember correctly, we were in fall again. Yes, I believe when we started this season, we went back into fall. So winter is coming.
He'll open the door and say, she won't be like being woken up early, but she has her goats, so she'll be fine.
I'll make sure to prepare the tea that she likes.
She likes you. She likes visiting you. You're nice
I
to her.
know. We get along so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get a scene of we swing up above and we see the Rolls Royce from above and the stark headlights, and then it pull away from the shop. As it pulls away from the shop, we go back to Zeke. We see a couple of bees like flying past the moon. The moon showing these like two little bee silhouettes fly, and the bees are flying, and then we see Dr. Radsman in his car driving, and then we cut to his inside his house in his bedroom, and Dot and Zeke, just got these covers set up, unrumpled, as it were. Still, the picture behind the bed is glowing, Dot. And there is a closet that you guys haven't looked into.
I'm going to cash in my other clue from investigating this room. That being, is there anything of worth here? Like, is there, like, should we stick around? Like, is it worth the dangers to continue searching this particular area?
That's great. That is a great. It gnaws at you that whatever's behind the painting is, you don't feel it's a trap, you feel it's a clue. You feel like if I don't look, it'll bug me forever.
Okay.
And it's not a mirror, so
is the painting over the bed?
Yeah, so like, this is the headboard, it's like right directly above, and so it's a rectangle frame, but the picture itself is a square. Gotcha. Inside, so the matting is cut to a square, even though the picture frame itself is a little bit rectangulish.
She's gonna like reach for the picture, and then like almost fall on the bed. She's a little bit shorter than Zeke is. She's gonna look to him and say, like, can you reach that without messing up the bed?
Without messing up the bed, I'll do my best. And then like cat paw in the oven mitt and go to grab the picture frame.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And because of the nightstands and whatnot, it's a little bit, awkward.
Yeah,
and because you're wearing an oven mitt, you grab the picture and it just kind of, once you get it off the nail, it almost just like slides right out of your hand.
That's heavy.
But you manage to like balance it out. When you turn the picture over, how to put this? So there seems to be the backing of the picture is there, but there seems to be it kind of like flares up, and it's a blue, like this blue light behind me. It's a blue light that comes into being, that's showing through the back covering of the painting. So there's like, when you put a picture in a frame, there's in this case, there's a piece of glass, there's a matte, cardboard, basically, a matte board, and then the picture itself, and then a backing goes on it, like another piece of matte board or cardboard. Well, that map board, you can kind of see it's thin, like almost paper itself, and you can see this blue glow coming through it.
Time to get in it.
All right. So you're holding it with the oven mitt one, and you're sliding
I'm
the.
gonna set it on the ground.
Okay.
Just so that way I'm not trying to like balance a pizza while using the cutter in one hand. Yeah. No, I'm gonna set it on the ground. I'm gonna use the knife that Beltane gave me and just like get into it.
All right. So you pull that backing off the back piece of board, and then there's this the picture itself is the front side is the picture, and this back side is it's almost like a vellum.
Okay.
So the picture itself was pretty mundane, like probably like Hippocrates, talking to students or something, kind of a medical theme.
Yeah.
But done on vellum, and then the vellum itself, you see that blue square. I mean, it's like
Blue.
you're seeing beyond the veil a blue square that's glowing. So it's obviously magic.
Go for it. Like if there's something magic with it, I mean, like peel back as many layers until like I figure out like, okay, is the painting itself like the blue radiating magic thing?
So it's cut so that the square that's showing the picture on the outside is smaller than this blue glow. So I can't give me an investigate.
Okay.
Dot, you want to help on this?
Please, God.
I will. I'm helping.
All right.
Awesome.
However helping works.
And let's see.
Because I have overlooked details.
Correct.
Maybe I should use my eye for details.
When you use your abilities to give yourself or your allies an advantage, roll plus power. And you have eye for detail, so I'll give you that one. Do you have you're printing stuff? Maybe I'll give you
news printing. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll give you
I imagine she learned how to cut mat board and mount things and et cetera.
Plus 2.
That's 7, 8, 9.
8, 9. Okay. 10 plus. Okay. Hit, you get. It's been introduced to gain the following. Okay. So let's see. Let's use juice too. Okay. So you did get a 8, 9. Oh, equals power. Okay, so yeah. You can give him, in this case, you can give him plus 2.
I do that.
Okay.
Correct. So you are plus 2.
All right. So 7 on the die plus 2. So 9.
Oh, nice. All right. Investigate. 9 gives you. All right. You get. So you're going to get 2 clues. 7 and 9. They can also choose 1. I'm going to put these into the chat out on the outside there, so that all of our anybody watching can also see. So your investigation exposes you to danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. And whoever or whatever you are asking the questions can ask you one question as well.
I feel like this would make the most sense, exposing me to danger.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't think that this painting can ask a question back of me.
Well,
You don't know.
technically, it could be the universe or whatnot, or we could just ask the question.
Or he's got like some sort of like magical ward on it that like,
Yep.
you know, delves into your mind.
Grabs your thoughts. So okay, exposes you to danger. Yeah, you feel your star touch. The best way to explain this to us as the audience, we see and feel it like a submarine, like a sonar. Bing. You know, the stars and whatnot. We see as the audience, we see the star touch go like out in a bing, in an alarm, like oh, you set off some kind of an alarm. But you do get 2 clues. Clue 1. There is more to this than you can see currently. You are going to need some magic or something to reveal more about this. But this is important.
Okay.
You can tell that this is a clue that you need to do something about. And I guess clue number 2 is Dot. You hear that ringing, that the star touch alarm. You're kind of like, it kind of washes over you a little bit, and you're like, what was that?
Like shakes her head like a dog hearing a high-pitched whistle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we should probably take this thing with us, right?
Yeah, take it with you. Did you hear that?
No. You're doing okay.
Does Dot have bad vibes about that?
About the sound, yes, but not about the taking the object.
Yeah. No, the sound, yes. She's like, we should get out of here.
Well, I mean, we still got the entire lower house, but I'll trust your judgment.
Just take that. That's gonna be enough. I don't know.
So
something. I heard something.
And so that's when you hear. Is it footsteps? It's really weird because it's not rhythmic like somebody running. It's tick, 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 like multiple flapping feet or something. It sounds like bare feet on the wood floor.
Oh, I hate that.
And then you hear it almost sounds like bones crunching or cracking.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does the flap 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 again. And what do you guys do?
We've got to go now.
All right, but first we're taking this thing with us.
Yes. She grabs it out of his hands and says, put your gun up. Let's get out of here.
Oh, now I put my gun up. Okay, I see how it is.
Now that there's something to shoot.
There's always something to shoot. You just got to look hard enough. And he like...
Okay, so
then look over there.
Yeah, let the mirror. Oh
yeah.
God. So here's what I'm going to offer you. You can pass by said mirror to get to the window of this room, or you can run back down the hall to the window that you already scraped or tapped the lock open on.
Well, the sound is coming from the hallway, right?
But yes, but technically it's downstairs still.
Okay.
Whatever it is still downstairs.
If we're fast enough, we can just go. Like Dot just like grabs him and starts running for the way that we got in.
Follow Dot. I'm feeling a little sluggish because my grave touched, but
So you guys come out of the room, and as you cross by the stairwell, you look down at the bottom of the stairs, and it's a mass of hands, and like one hand is on the wall, and like 5 or 6 hands are on the wood floor, and another hand grabs one of the railings of the banister, and it just kind of like launches itself up the stairs, and all the hands are like grabbing and tapping, and it's rolling up the stair, basically kind of rolling up the stairs towards you, all just hands.
I hate it. Thank
Whoosh.
you.
Let us run, shall we?
We're going. We're going.
When you perform a daring, risky, or outright stupid feat, roll plus power.
Oh, hey, we're doing that right now.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So
No feet on Twitch.
no
That's why
feet.
this
That's why
creature's all hands.
See, so we're safe. We're safe. So what I'm gonna say is, one of you make the roll. The other one can add powers in if you have something to help you perform a daring, risky, or
I think
outright
Zeke's gonna
stupid
be
feat.
the best option for this.
I was gonna say you're leading Zeke out.
Yes.
So do you want to
But
be?
you're the
making
one
a
that's
roll?
closest to the hands.
All right, I made my roll.
Oh boy, why are you so happy? I don't like that.
I just want to make sure we both agree that Zeke's the one
Well,
who's rolling for this, right? Cool.
I'm gonna assist you, obviously.
Yes, you will.
You can't kill this character, Simon. You can't kill this one.
Fucking watch me.
No.
I'm
That's
gonna
an equivalent of hold my beer.
I'm gonna assist him with my Thrill of the Hunt
Okay.
ability.
There's still one primordial I have not had inhabit my body yet.
No.
It's fine. This is fine. But yeah, I'm gonna assist him with my primordial, or not primordial.
Yep.
Thrill of the Hunt. It's 10 on the die with an 11.
Perfect.
So just gives him like a +1, yeah?
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. What'd you get, bud?
Cool. So, with my nimble as a fox ability and your
Mhm.
+1, that brings my total to 5.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
I'm gonna roll different dice from now on. These ones have not been doing super well for me.
It's fine. Just take the damage.
So yeah, the ball of hands, the amalgam of hands and whatnot, like I said, are slapping the wall on one side and grabbing rails and kind of throwing itself up, and then it just kind of leaps at Zeke and takes him and hits him and knocks him down. You have a temp tag of -1. Basically, you're prone. So you have been mauled by the ball of hands, and like some of the fists are already punching you as you as you fall. Like some of the fists are already punching you like in the face and groin and guts, and the other hands are holding on and pulling and tugging and pulling your hair. They're all making separate attacks. So basically your status is prone. Dot, what do you do?
She's still got hold of one of Zeke's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's going to try and wolf out just a little, to call on her wolf strength. I don't think she can fully go full wolf at the moment because of the silver embedded in her. But she's going to try and call on her wolf strength to yank him out from underneath the hands and just like pull him to the window.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to do something to it because it's holding him.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to pull it away from him, because if you pull him, it's a bunch of hands. It's not going to, you're not able to pull him away from it. You're gonna have to.
Like, you ever just like have like a bunch of dirt on like a blanket or something? You just yank it and like shake it off.
You're gonna snap his spine to shake the amalgam off. All right, okay, off. Sure. Let's go for that then.
It's the tablecloth under the dishes.
Yeah, perfect. The magic trick.
I'm gonna call on my bestial form. I'm calling on my ancient blood. I'm calling on the fact that I'm terrifying. But I'm gonna subtract 1 for my silver poisoning.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a net +2.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
Okay.
That's 7, 8, 9. I rolled a 9
Okay.
to just
Status.
wolf out a little bit. Yank Zeke out from under them.
Yeah.
Hands.
So basically, yeah, you yoink him up, and it maybe like got one arm caught in the banister or whatnot, and you pull Zeke away from it, and the hands are all clawing and grappling at it. Again, it doesn't have eyes, so that's a bit strange, and it starts to roll towards you guys. You're fleeing. Let's one more face danger. Who's rolling? Who's helping?
I feel like you've had better rolls than I've had tonight, so I will help.
All right.
Especially if you're pulling me out of the danger.
So
I
go
think that the follow-up here is Dot throws him out the window and then hops out with him.
All right, that's great.
I'd
but
call that downright stupid.
he has to roll to help. So you're -1 for Star Touch, -1 for Grave, +1 Nimble Fox, and +1 something else.
Super speed?
Perfect. So you're just roll.
Me?
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're rolling to help her.
A 9 on the dice.
Okay, excellent. So you do. Technically, it would be. Well, no, it's plus power, so it would be +2. So you are +2, Dot.
Okay. So he's giving me a +2.
Mhm.
I'm calling on my Thrill of the Hunt, my bestial form, and I think I could get like a third one in there. Probably my Ancient Blood. And I'm going to subtract 1 for the silver poisoning. So it's a +2 from me. It's a +2 from Zeke. So it's a +4. 9. That's a 13, baby. I chuck him out the window.
All right, Zeke, you get thrown off your horse roll. You roll across the roof of the porch, the back porch, and like I said, leather duster tails flapping, and you roll off, and you manage to kind of cowboy or superhero land, with cowboy flair, with your oven mitt still on.
I'm gonna cut like all the way back to like Zeke under the hands, like it's like Dot like trying to pull him like out from under them, and then she like centers herself and her eyes open and they're like lupine, like nice. Yellow, and like her teeth start getting a little bit longer and like she starts to look a little bit hairier and she just roar and like yanks him out from under those hands, and like runs over like still like like leaning on that momentum, chucks him out the window, and like Zeke lands all cool superhero like
after rolling,
and then there's like a whoomph like right down next to him as like this like she lands like a lot more roughly, and then like stands up, like already the transformation like receding as she like reaches up to her shoulder and just ow. And you can see like smoke hissing from where the silver is embedded.
As you unwerewolf a little bit, and the hiss and smoke. At that point, these two little bees come whirling up, in front of your eyes. And Beltane, can they talk? How do they communicate?
I think there's just like a series of movement before they kind of just hit their receiver, and there's just a message transferred into their mind. Kind of like they're doing what bees do best. They'll be agitated and just kind of fly at your face.
Yeah, just bump off your forehead.
Yeah.
and basically the message is dinner's over. He's probably
dinner's over. Come home.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, literally at that point, the bees transfer that message and then just kind of vanish into the dark, we hear a car pulling up and we see headlights from the street kind of flash over, like, towards the garage. You guys are in the backyard. The thing at itself, the amalgam of hands, is all like gripped all around the windowsill, on all edges of the windowsill, and it's glaring at you.
I mean, like, I can
Its
imagine
arms
that
like change shape to look like a large face.
Yeah.
And then like grubby eyes.
Yeah.
they're like one hand is just giving you the finger.
Yeah. Perfect.
Like, yeah, I imagine it's like trying to go out the window, but like it can't find a grip to crawl down.
It seems stopped at the edge of the window. And like I said, it's leaning out, so it can obviously leave, but it isn't leaving. And yeah, maybe like we said, the hands are forming some kind of face that's cranky and whatnot. I.e. Labyrinth, the helping hands.
Yeah.
A lot like
And
that.
Headlights. What do you guys do?
Duck out of the headlights, and Dot says, "We gotta get out of here.
We gotta leave. We gotta leave like yesterday."
We like
All right.
scramble.
Yep, we see you guys like leaping the fence, the backyard fence, and scrambling off into the subdivision, the woods and whatnot.
I'm gonna hit the old dusty trail.
And I have totally not been paying attention to time. Did you want to take a break now?
Yeah. So we are going to go into our break. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice. And we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. Ready spaghetti. Hello, everybody.
Ready spaghetti.
Welcome. We have returned from our break. Dot and Zeke are running like the wind. What are Lilith and Beltane up to? I guess, or rather, GB, take us away.
We see there's like a hill in the background of the backyard with trees and whatnot, and the shadows of Zeke and Dot are fleeing. The amalgam of hands gripped at the window, making angry faces and flipping them the bird. As the headlights of the doctor, his car pulls into his driveway. Then we kind of come back over and we see those headlights, and we do another scene where they swipe through and it's the headlights of the Rolls Royce. And you guys are heading back towards the mansion. Yep. And we're looking out the front of the Rolls Royce, and the headlights are there, and suddenly from the edge of the forest bounds in this like completely ripped, red-skinned individual with like massive black horns, and he just looks at the car and he goes, "Raka!" and then bounds off back into the woods.
Not this again.
We could pretend we never saw it.
And you remember that this is the individual from the VA hospital who had escaped.
I'll send the hounds after him. It's fine.
He's probably just having a really good time being freed from his cell.
All right, so you just head for
There's
home.
no response. It's just a look.
No, that's great. No, it's perfect. It's absolutely adorable. This thing in the road, and Beltane doesn't even really stop or like slam on the brakes or anything. Just kind of keeps going like F this effer, and he just like bounds out of the way and runs off into the woods. So yeah, that's great. So we have that occurs, and then you guys continue driving, and then we cut the scene to you guys pulling up at the castle. Pulling up at the castle, and then do we Lilith, are you calling Biggie for this, or
yeah.
Okay.
She's calling Biggie for
And-
this.
And so we get a scene of like Lilith on her business line, and we see this big werewolf in a zoot suit with the zoot hat and everything, and
Yeah.
and he basically says, well, of course, Miss Lilith, we'll take care of it. Me and the boys, we're going hunting. Boys, we're going hunting. And he hangs up. So
Good luck.
that just imagine that, a pack of zoot suit werewolves going after a big red devil man. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cue the squirrel nut zippers music. Moon in the background, trees all dark and stuff. Rocka, 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 and then the werewolf pack chasing with Tommy guns. So we get that flash. Back at the house, Lilith, Beltane, what's your next move? You waiting for the kids to get there? Should we jump to that scene, or do you have a scene between yourselves?
I don't know. Unless there's anything that Belton has to say. She's just gonna be upset and quiet, trying to figure out. She'll probably be doing her own research in whatever books she has. She has an extensive collection.
Mm.
I feel like, especially of like primordials, because of everything they faced. I feel like that would make sense. So she's just in her office doing research. But unless Beltane has anything you would like to discuss with her, we can like jump to the kids getting home.
I think Beltane will just ask for his sister to come visit them when she's free. Makes tea for everybody and just kind of sits at the edge of Lilith's desk, waiting for the kids to come home.
Okay.
And just kind of tapping his spoon against the cup every now and then.
And we see the two books from the previous season that Lilith had used to figure out the third one of the three demons, and she's going back over them. Just give me a dice roll, just 2d6.
Yeah. Sure, that counts. 6.
All told, 6.
Oh yeah, I don't
Okay.
have any holds or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, if we had given you your powers, you would have had probably at least +1. So we're gonna say it's not a failure. It moves on to
I mean, she does have like, from criminal lore, she does have like company resources that could be added.
Right, and you've got the library itself is a +1 and stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna say you get you do find a new piece of information.
Yeah.
That basically you find that Shay or Shayla she's not only the mistress of magic, she's like the maiden of stars, purveyor of the void, and keeper of secrets. And hence a lot of the star touched stuff kind of comes into focus for you. Okay. The cold, the undead, the stars and stuff. Yeah, like I said, that sort of solidifies itself to be like, okay, now I know her domain, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the kids show up. I mean, they're grown adults, but it's
kids
compared to hundreds of year old vampire and thousands of year old.
Do you see the art that Satan did? Zeke is clearly a baby.
Okay. Yeah. So let's have a scene. Where does this take place, Lilith? Because it's your house. Where do you gather?
There's probably like a room with like a nice fireplace that has like the really nice, like comfortable chairs and like glow sea and stuff that fits all of them. And there's like that cart of like drinks for them. And so the lit fireplace, and she's in more comfortable clothing. What she's in currently is more like to what she grew up. It's one of those like Victorian like house robes.
Cool.
So it's not just like a nightgown. It has like those really fancy like house robes. It has like the slits so you can put the sleeves out. It's like really fancy.
Right.
And so
it has the little sleeve ties. And,
yeah.
Okay. Nice. So we're in the sitting room or a parlor type place. Would you, just to set the scene, would you have like had sandwiches or anything brought, like
she
food
would have
for
had food for the kids.
Dot, because of your werewolfiness, do you tear into said sandwiches? Because it's been a theme. It's a theme with Dot.
Oh, absolutely. Like particularly since she wolfed out like even just a little. I want to say like there's like a weird like I don't know, how do you call it?
Like an overlay, like something happening and something.
Like sure, like it's like a brownout where like, you know, you keep on like trying to use this much energy and then it like, you know, like it overloads the system and then like, you know, shuts down and then it like tries to start up again. She's kind of like whenever she gets agitated, she starts to wolf out, but then like the silver counteracts that.
Okay.
So bless the poor thing. She like digs into these sandwiches and like, you know, starts picking up speed and starts to wolf out a little, and then like I don't know, it's like a sore tooth. She just like, and then like
well, it's kind of like she's reading a book and Lilith just puts a hand on her, like, calm down.
And it's the, you know, there are these delicate little cut the crust off finger sandwiches that someone made specifically, and they're all stacked.
Yeah, they're
nice.
like tea sandwiches.
Yeah, and then Dot's like grabbing 3 or 4 of them, and the whole pile kind of caves in on itself, and she snarfs them, and then like toothpick. There's like, you know, they're held together and stuff. So we see this up and down kind of powering throughout this scene of the gathered group. Zeke, where are you? And let's place you in the scene.
I think like as they walked in, Zeke is like, he like shakes off part of his duster and like a little bit of glass. Some debris from the woods comes out. He takes his boots off because, I mean, like, Lilith has been polite enough to him. He doesn't want to track mud and whatever else he stepped in on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, like, as they're going up and, like, he's eating a sandwich with Dot, just be like, you know, out of all the times I think that you and I have gone off together, this is the first time that I haven't shot you. So I call that progress.
There's just like Lilith has the book that she's been reading about primordials, and she just looks up at Ezekiel and then just looks down.
Completely accidental.
Gosh,
Are you sure?
Zeke, you always know what to say.
Yeah. Well,
Merely eats sandwich.
It's just another plate of sandwiches, but like now real, like just real size sandwiches, just stacked with meat and like lettuce and tomatoes and stuff, just come in.
Oh, thank God these ones have the good bits on them, and you see that he's meaning the crust.
Yeah.
And he'll say, "All right. As a heads up, we may have gotten made while we were in the house. I don't think the thing that saw us could like see us, but we did pull the painting off of a wall and then
So there's evidence
pull
that
some
someone was
shit
in
out
there.
of it. And then a creature made entirely of hands rolled up the stairs and like hopped on me. That's where the shiner came from, if you haven't been able to tell. Punched and grabbed me all over. It was not a good time. And then, so, you know, I do apologize if I leave any glass anywhere because Dot threw me out of a window on the second floor. So, you know, there are a few trailings that we might have left coming from
Just a few.
Bros of Mikowski's house.
Well, you landed on your feet.
I
I think
usually
maybe
do.
you're a werecat, Zeke.
Is that even a thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh.
Total
I don't-
confirmation.
Well, I don't think I am, but I'll look into it the next time there's a full moon. Isn't that
There's
usually how that works?
geese.
Dot
They're the
wolf.
worst.
Were geese? It's not you're telling me there's
Mhm.
like were boars, were bats, were tigers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
All that sounds made up.
Well, you have a werewolf sitting right next to you.
Well, a werewolf makes sense.
How so?
It's like when you're really hungry, like you wolf something down. It's not like you tiger something down.
Have you ever seen a tiger hunt?
No. I grew up in the mountains. I have not seen a tiger hunt. I did see a cougar hunt once, and that almost ended poorly for me because, as it turns out, I'm quite tasty to cougars.
Oh, did you let her down easy?
Just cougar?
I was so good at doing it if you didn't not. That's so great.
I did very well have to, yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
gonna
It was a
cut the
difference of
crusts off
opinion.
That's gonna cut the crusts off
Yeah.
of her sandwich and then hand them over to Zeke.
That's free bread right there.
That's the
Red
best
bones.
part. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
That's like me whenever someone just leaves like the crust of the pizza. I'm like, what are you doing?
The
You're already
Pizza
eating
bones.
the pizza.
Pizza
You might as well
bones.
eat the crust.
Pizza
Um,
bones.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just like their pizza boneless.
Yeah.
Alright.
Lilith's gonna close the book.
Mm. Okay.
And she's going to look at them. Well, the good thing is that you two made it out alive and relatively unharmed, other than your chiner.
Well, I also touched a door, and the door got real spooky, so I had to put like a hand mitten on.
The
That
door
house
got
was-
spooky.
That house was filled with all kinds of words.
Yeah, there was like mirrors
familiar.
that kept showing me how like boring I would look sometimes. Dot apparently like cannot handle the amount of boring that she would look in one of them mirrors.
Interesting. Those traps are old. Well, see, they are fun thing. They are often used to trap certain spirits, certain ghosts, certain gods, in the sense that Japan has gods that can live on Earth. Anyways, you hold up a mirror and trap the spirit in it, and that's where you get the story of Bloody Mary.
What does a breakfast beverage have anything to do with this?
That's gonna make all our sleepovers just that much more.
You can just cover the mirror with a blanket, dear. So
Liminal space
clearly,
and mirrors are fun to travel through.
And so, Dot, you add nothing about that. You're like, nope, mirror not happening.
No, she's not gonna clarify.
Okay.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
what did you guys get from there?
I don't know, some piece of paper that was behind a portrait or picture.
May I?
I don't know. Dot has it.
That will pass it over. Start to like undo the fastenings on the back of the picture and like pull the mat away. Like what do we find underneath the like the back mat of the frame?
Mm-hmm.
So the back side of the picture itself, which is done on vellum, which Beltane, I'm just gonna I'm not. Let's do some rolling. So yeah, you get this and it's some kind of vellum. The square itself, all of you who have the sight, you can see beyond the veil. The square is blue and lit up. So it is some kind of magic, but that's all it appears to be currently.
Now, hold on. Dot said that she heard something when we were messing with this before.
What did you hear?
Like a weird sort of like ringing noise, and then those hands started coming up the stairs.
I should probably get my brother to adopt another hand thing.
I would hate to see what your brother would do with those things.
He's going to make them his pets or his right hand. Look, he's going to do something and make sure all of the courts are jealous because of it.
He's going to terrorize the rest of the courts.
Yep.
It seems like some sort of sigil or ward itself. Maybe you could have your sister look at it, Beltane, if she gets here. Beltane's sister might be joining us for tea.
And Beltane, what your sister is
The sister. He has two sisters, but the one he's calling upon is Imbolc or Biera. She is a divine hag, specifically the creator of Scotland.
And does she have a realm or something to, like, you know?
He resides over winter. She's the winter hag.
All right. Okay. The fire, like, completely snuffs out, and snowflakes come flying, floating down the chimney.
Oh, there we go.
And and as the snowflakes like fall, the fireplace itself kind of becomes coated in frost and ice, and then the back of the fireplace like opens like a door, and your sister steps in. What does she look like?
He looks like an elderly woman, kind of long dark hair, kind of pulled up into a tight bun. But when she pulls herself into the mortal realm, she's quite lovely. She has this kind of soft matronly features about her, wrinkles around her eyes, has a gentle smile, and she has at her side a little kid, a baby goat at her side that kind of follows her everywhere. And she has a heavy basket kind of laden with something heavy in it. She's covering it with a beautiful green and red tartan kind of draped over it lightly. And she's holding this staff, and she has this belt that's made up of rope knots that she kind of adjusts now and then and kind of looks around at everybody.
Yeah, so she steps in through the back of the fireplace. Just kind of swings open like a door, and we see, winter and snow blowing in the background from the back of the fireplace door. Very Narnia wardrobe sort of thing. And she hunches through and come along, and she kind of like gets, is it you said it was a kid, so it doesn't have horns. No horns. Goat. Okay. Yeah. So kind of like, grabs it by the back of the skull and kind of shoves him in, and then pulls the back of the fireplace closed as if it was hinged. And the frost just kind of like melts away. And as she steps away from the edge, boom, the fire immediately is back to where it was before, lit. And she kind of does a little like half step away from the fire on her bum as she moves forward into the room. Well, hello.
Hello.
And I was gonna say she's met Lilith, but not the other two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Zeke.
Can't hear you.
You know what? No, I'm good. There's not much I can say about this.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah.
Is it possible that she's in Dot's Book of Fables?
She would be, because she is the divine hag of Scotland, so she would have her own domain, so she would be very prominent in that.
So what do you think? What name would she have gone by in the Book of Fables? Like,
she'd probably go by the Keliak which is the true name, her Manx name, her Scottish name, her Irish name, but she goes by Bira or Imog because it's easier to say than Kellyek over and over again.
I think I've read about you.
Well, that's so nice of you. Hello. And she goes to shake your hand.
Kaliak, dear, this is Dot, and this is Ezekiel.
They
Ma'am.
shake hands. So,
Yeah.
well, other than good tea, and she grabs a mug, and it turns to ice, as she takes it, but then she's able to like drink the ice.
Yeah.
Like the ice gets
Like a
lower in the
slush,
cup.
yeah.
And it gets lower in the cup. And other than tea, what am I here for?
Well, we've had a series of events with undead in the city. We found out who's been doing it, certain symbols, but I was wondering if you knew anyone or about anyone by the name of... What name did we give them? It is...
The primordial?
Shay.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
a primordial.
that's an old name. That's from before our time. And she again sips the tea slushy. Yes, and Zeke, the goat, is like nibbling at your duster,
Hey, stop that.
and it pops back a couple of little hops, and then comes forward and butts you in the knee.
Hey, I got punched there earlier. You watch your kind.
All right,
Dot will pass it some of Zeke's crusts.
okay.
How dare you?
My bread
Yep. It gnaws on that. The goat is just like
Yeah.
yeah, she's that's older. That's before my time, but definitely in my wheelhouse. And she looks like you can tell she's in like oh shit mode, like she's a couple of her tells are pinging, like twisting her hair, or looking away at the ceiling. The little tells that you definitely know because she's your sister. She looks a tad nervous. What do you need me to help with, I guess?
Anything to get rid of them, as they seem to be here, and they have marked both me and Ezekiel. Lovely, I know.
May I see?
Yeah. She'll present her hand.
Okay. And she smiles at the ... cootie shot. Yeah. Belle, you trickster. And she smiles at Belle, and then she looks very thoughtful. Yeah, I guess let's do a convince roll just to kind of see which way she goes and if there's a price for her help. So roll plus power for anything you're using to convince, cajole, or whatnot.
Her suggestion ability, or under her charm abilities.
There's one.
She's not gonna use hypnotic trance on her.
Yep.
So that's An 8.
Okay.
Sorry. I had to
Um,
do math in my head real quick.
So, Belle, do you want to try to change the game and up that because it's your sister?
Yeah, I'll just
That'd be
lean forward
nice.
and say, Emmy, I didn't abscond from the courts just to have fun. I came here to help.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll plus power for anything that you have that may convince. If not, it's a straight up 2d6.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I will say, using that fake connection. So that's a good 12.
All right. Okay. So, Lilith, you are +2.
Nice. So then it'd be
+3.
a +2. So +6 would be 9, 10.
Yep. Okay. Great. All right. So out of 10, change their change their agenda to include yours. Okay. So she says, I can get rid of this mark, take it away, but there's always a cost.
I'm aware, dear.
All right.
Oh, is this one of those like we don't pay with money kind of things?
Oh, you definitely do not pay with money.
All right, good, because I don't have any of that.
And she smiles, and the goat, you swear the goat gives you like a eye roll, like like dumb cowboy, you know. And
Zeke has that moment where like the goat does that, and he's like, "Did you used to be a person?" Like,
and the goat has just sat there with and near you, Zeke. The whole time it's been like, other than to like tilt its head and it's still watching you, and it's like nah, the bread bones that Dot's feeding him.
Dot
'cause
gets distracted and stops feeding him, and so he like starts like using his little goat lips to like like grab them off of Zeke's plate.
The goat tongue.
Yeah. Sideways face.
And yeah, she's like, of course not money, dear. I would never. I didn't. And she like waves her hand, and like you see gold coins appear and kind of circle around, and then they just sort of vanish. And somewhere in the metaverse, Keys is like, gold coins.
Money is more of a mortal thing.
So shall I?
What's the cost, dear?
Oh, I'll ask for a favor later.
Fine.
And she, lays her hands on your wrist, on both sides of your wrist, and this blue light just like blazes out between her fingers, and her hands shake, and you think that for a moment, like, oh shit, this is gonna go bad, like really bad, like oh geez, I'll just hold this grenade kind of bad. But then her hands shake a bit, and then it kind of moves down her arms, and then it gets to her elbows, and she starts to look scared, and then she like forces the energy back, and she like looks around, and then she's almost she gives like an exasperated and she hucks whatever it is into the basket and covers it back up with the tartans, so you never get to actually see what's in there. The blue light is like too blinding, and she tucks it in there, and for a second you see the blue come out of the weave of the basket,
and it just
and then it calms down.
Oh, Thank you for that.
Yeah. You seem to have a bit on you too.
I don't know if this is really necessary.
He's not gonna bite you.
No, I just don't really want to owe anybody anything.
Oh, you don't want to owe anybody anything, so you're just gonna keep this fucking star curse inside you.
Look, I'll figure out how to get rid of it myself.
Turn towards my sister. He's under my protection. You can't ask him for a direct favor. How's that? I'll owe you one.
Oh, he's so cute. And she like pinches Zeke, tries or tries to.
Yeah, Zeke is like, thank you, no touching.
Okay.
Averse.
It's the hand, you're like quicker than she is somehow.
Yeah, my dodging bullets ability, just like avoiding grandma's cheek pinches.
That's what I'm saying. You like somehow
Slows down
quicker than yeah, the bullet time misses the wow. Pinch miss. So your account sheet is getting pretty long, dear sister. Am I gonna have to get rid of some of those handy things? Oh wait, that wasn't her. Was that took the hands
No,
before?
that was his brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, rewind. Your account sheet's getting a little long, but we'll settle up, I'm sure. And
Well,
Pat,
now that he's back from
So-
wherever the hell he was, he has time to make up for all the lost favors.
did you know you're keeping the?
Look, I think that it might be more useful for me to have this on me than it would for me to not have it.
Suit yourself. And she finishes the tea, the slushy tea, and sets it down. Well, it's always a wonderful thing to visit, but I believe that I'll move along.
Yes, here, I made sure we had some of the cookies that you like, and she'll take out like a little tin and just give it to her.
Okay. And she goes to put it in the basket and then
Maybe not.
puts the tartan down and then like tucks it in like a jacket pocket.
Yeah.
It's odd, but it manages to fit like almost like with Fey magic. The pocket kind of goes and opens a bit to squeeze the tin in. And she's like, well, then I bid you. And then she's just gone. Then there's like little over exaggerated snowflakes. She doesn't say adieu or anything. There's just the
Yeah.
little snowflakes like flutter and they just kind of melt out of existence and just disappear.
Zeke
Keep
just sort of
going.
like leans over to Dot. Just like, do you ever get the feeling that we are dealing with things that are far beyond any kind of pay grade we might have initially signed up for?
She's gonna kick him in the shin under the table.
I got punched there earlier. How dare you?
Right in the bruise. It's just a perfect hit.
My entire body is just a singular bruise at this
Are
point.
you serious, Zeke? You have a chance to get rid of your curse and you just spit in her face?
I didn't spit in nobody's face. One, I got warded by Beltane, which means that the things can't follow me. Two, what I'm saying is that if I end up touching something I'm not supposed to, and this whole thing ends up causing a ding, ding, ding to fire off in your head, then that means that it's going to be helpful for us in the long run.
Wards fade away.
They what now?
It's on your hand with a pen, dear. It's just ink.
No, there was like magic and all sorts of stuff that went on with this.
Lilith's just gonna do this. Just
Like, don't you dare.
she did it
Again,
already.
no touching.
She did it already.
Look,
Yeah,
you gotta
those
bathe
were-
in order for that to come off.
yeah.
I'm just saying, there are worse things than owing somebody a favor.
And I was
There are
willing
worse
to take
people
that
to owe
favor.
favors too.
And he's actually a really good person to owe a favor to. She will forget in a day, honestly.
She will.
I see where y'all are coming from. I'm not about that life.
Mm-hmm.
It's his decision. It's his curse. It's his mark. He can do whatever he wants with it. As long as you keep the ward updated, Beltane, dear, make sure nobody can spy on him or us.
I already needs an update. Lilith licked part of it off.
Yeah, I did.
Come
Just
here.
trying to prove a point. It was quite funny.
And as Lilith is gesticulating, we get the blue glow from the painting thing, like lighting the back of her hand, bringing us back to that
Yeah.
object.
The painting.
Beltane reapplies the ward to Zeke and then kind of draws up his arms and then writes in Old Scots something on his arm and then draws a smiley face.
Perfect ward.
Dot
Right,
just
so-
like rolls her eyes at Zeke and then like tucks back into her sandwich,
Yeah.
sort of like rubbing her sore shoulder. Turns back to Lilith.
Zeke will be Zeke. In the meantime, have you ever seen anything like this, Mark? This blue glow, other than your sister?
The Northern Lights.
That is very apropos.
And it belongs to Shay. She's mistress of magic and stars and also winter in a different way than your sister is.
And probably in the aspect of winter as a whole. Emmy's the aspect of winter in a specific country, so. Well, two
But-
countries, but that's picky.
This person, this primordial being, seems to be the one that is conducting this situation here. And if my assumptions are correct, Ezekiel, this primordial might also be responsible for your family's untimely death.
So I have a question then.
Yes.
That also then relates to me not having gotten this here, what have you, removed. Is there any way that we'd be able to track that thing from this?
You're like reverse tracking.
It's not reverse. It's like when an animal in the woods leaves behind some of its fur or anything like that. You put a dog on it and have that dog sniff it out. It takes you to where the predator is. And then you remind it its position in the food chain.
Oh.
According to the food chain, we're under it, so.
Well, and raises a pistol. Safely, mind you. Finger's not near firing mechanism at all. There's a little man-made order that can be settled on that one.
I like your gumption.
It's the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while.
There's an involuntary growl from Dot.
This might be something a little bit more difficult to take down than with just a couple of bullets, even silver ones. But I'm
Silver
sure
to
they're hurt
Dot.
like a bitch.
Yeah. Thing about primordial gods. Gotta have a weakness be, well, us. I think they're a caliber above what we're looking at.
Yes, but we've also dealt with two of them in the past.
And how did you deal with them?
Poorly.
By sacrificing one of our own.
Both times.
Hey, none of those times that's neither Lilith nor Beltane, but that's all you, Simon.
Well, there was a small key that we, if I remember correctly, in dealing with this. It's not nice, but it is possible. It's old binding magic, and unfortunately we've lost two to that.
We would have to bind it or trap it into something, much like the mirror and the spirits.
It doesn't come back out.
Well, they've been bound before. There's a reason they're out now, because they were bound before. So we would just need to make sure that happens again.
Sorry, I was remembering the red man that ran in front of our car earlier tonight.
I sent Biggie and his men after. Should be fine.
Red.
Remember when we were at the VA?
Yeah, no, I remember that part.
Yeah. It got out.
Solid.
I have a pack of werewolves after it. It's fine. I'm very excited to have gone hunting.
You both surprise me in a variety of ways.
I'll
Dot,
take that as a compliment.
while the banter is going on, I would like you to give me an investigate roll. Danae.
Me?
You are
Yeah.
Dot.
Dot, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you are
Perfect,
Dot.
Dot.
Did you say you or Dot? I heard
I said
you.
Dot.
Dot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No biggie. No biggie.
Actually, one biggie. Biggie bad wolf.
One biggie,
Biggie,
and that's,
biggie.
that's Dot's dad.
Wolf's instincts, thrill of the hunt.
Whatever's magical.
Whatever is magical. Okay.
So your
then
book.
in that case, book of fables, and eye for details.
Sure. I give you both of those.
7, 8, 9. That's what I got.
All right. I'm going to give you 2 clues, and you also choose one.
Boy, oh boy.
Paste. There you go.
Clues are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. Well, what is the information for specifically? What do I roll an investigation for? Is what I'm
Yeah, so
asking.
basically you're going to be noticing something about the vellum, the square, the glowing square. As they're talking, you're like mowing sandwiches, and you're just kind of looking at the blue glow. Like I said, it crosses the back of Lilith's porcelain skin,
Yeah,
and
as she
has,
gestures.
Well, I like this. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take the last option. Whoever or whatever I'm asking the question can ask me a question as well, because and the way I'm justifying this
Mhm.
is that I left behind some sort of evidence
okay.
at the house.
Perfect.
So I'm getting a clue from him, and he's getting a clue from me.
The
Okay.
oven mitt.
It's the oven mitt.
All right. It's the cat paw oven mitt has somehow in the scramble got hucked from Zeke.
Property of Dorothy Flannery.
Yeah. Well, it is the 40s, so putting your
It's
little
sewn
name
in,
tags,
Yeah.
putting your little sewed in, cool. All right, that's awesome. So as again, Lilith was waving over, and they were talking, and you're frustrated with Zeke. You
My shoulder hurts.
yeah, your shoulder
Sandwich
hurts.
is good.
It's-
Got a lot of emotions right
you
now.
ate all the beef ones; they're all gone.
It's just turkey now.
Yeah, it's turkey and tuna. That's all. So yeah, you notice that you're seeing more. There's stuff inside the square.
What do I see inside the square?
Basically, as she was like waving her hand over it, the light became more. It became more intense, and as you kind of like get closer to look, you see on the inside there are now for some reason there seems to be ruins.
And they specifically
Speckled.
like appear whenever a hand waves over them.
No, they are just there now
Oh.
for whatever reason.
She's gonna stuff the sandwich in her mouth and just kind of hold it there. And she's gonna point and say, "Hey, Belle, what do those runes say?"
I'll hand you a napkin.
There's they're primordial. They're not a script you've ever seen. And you can tell that they're not all there yet. It's kind of like as if someone was writing it out and then they skipped a few and then wrote some more and then skipped a couple and then, wrote like a half dozen. And then, so some of it seems to be missing and it could be there, but you just can't see it.
Mm-hmm. I think he kind of runs his finger above it, kind of muttering to himself, well, to half whatever this is. I don't speak primordial in all the languages I've collected. Primordial's way too hard, actually. I don't like it.
The other thing you noticed, Dot, is this vellum is human skin.
I thought so.
That was your two clues there.
She's gonna like pick up the vellum and just sort of sniff it.
Okay.
And, and like her eyes go yellow for a second, and then like she just sort of blinks and like looks over at Zeke. She's like,
okay.
Beltane leans forward and says, lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it.
Tempted. Shakes her head. It's human flesh.
Oh, that's gross.
And we're gonna jump this way. Hey Zeke, what is a smell that reminds you of your mother?
I would probably say like daffodil kind of thing. Like some kind of like spring flower.
Dot, you get a whiff of daffodil off this vellum.
Oh, that's awful.
Good. Solid.
This smells like mom.
Mama?
Mom.
Yeah, no, she's like sniffing it and she's like, it's human skin. It smells like daffodils.
And that's where we're going to leave it for the evening.
Excellent. So, now that we have had our fill of spooky and fun and horror and all sorts of these gross, ghoulish things, I have a blast whenever we get to play this game on this here channel. It's been far too long, but that is besides the point. GB, I love having you on here. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Greybeard's Tavern. You can find me at Greybeard Tavern on Twitch on Sunday mornings. We're playing Wilder Myth still. We're getting through. We've got maybe one more story, but we're on the last chapter of the third or fourth story in the game. So we're into it, but we always have a good time. I get to play with all my toys on me because it's a fantasy game, and we have a good time. 10ish EST, and then you can catch me every other Tuesday over on Lantern Noire's channel, where us two old geezers try to bring some wokeness to the hobby by talking, using our almost 80 years of experience to enlighten folks as best we can. But it's a chat, so everybody's welcome to pull up a stool and say their bit, because it's Twitch and that's the way it works. And then I'll be back here Thursday for more Monster Noir. That's it for me, GB.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan, or Elizabeth Vamp on the internet. You can find me here on Thursdays. Again, thanks to everyone for coming back for this game. I'm so excited for playing it again and playing with you guys. You can also find me over at Valdrian's channel Saturdays at 4:30 EST. We're playing Dragon Age. And then Sundays at 10 a.m. EST, you can find me over at the Hype Goblins channel, where I DM a few of my friends through my homebrew world. We're playing D&D 5e. And that's about it. That's me. I do art. There's art stuff somewhere.
On your Twitter?
On my Twitter? Wait, no, not yet, because I forgot to post some art. I'll post it later. So there will be art stuff on my Twitter soon.
Yeah, isn't that strange? You gotta actually post art for there to be. For it to
I
be
know. I know. I don't like it.
I promise we do art.
We do art.
We do it.
Hey, I just retweet everybody's good art, so that's I don't make any art.
It's there somewhere.
And speaking of it being there, Danae, where can we find you?
I'm like, since I've jumped in and started talking, hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com or at Danae Keener on Twitter. If you want to look at my art, look at DanaeKeener.com. Twitter's not the best place to look for it, just because of weird formatting issues. They've been working on it. It's a little bit better now. But yeah, you can go to my Twitter to see the pinned tweet and all the streams that I am in and all the games that I am in. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Jen. You can see me here on Thursdays playing Beltane. You can also see me over at the Hype Goblins channel on Sundays playing Anthony Silverhorn, the Artificer Barbarian, and he's having a fun time. I also do art, but in the forms of maps. You can find those on my
maps.
Twitter. They're fun maps. I love them. You can find those on my Twitter at LaughMakerDND.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. We are found there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. And with City of Mist, there is also a thing that happens that we often forget about until the very end, called Geek Out during the credits, where we will have additional content for this show, again being made available at that Patreon. It's free to sign up for. All the stuff is made public, so you don't actually have to support us on Patreon, but it's nice, because how else are we going to afford to pay for new games and Zoom and all of those other things that are recurring costs for the channel? So with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.